Thousands of pounds. Gone. Just like that. And the scariest part? People are still losing that money today, right now, because the official government website is quietly leading them into a trap. If you're planning to apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK, or even thinking about it in the next year, what I'm about to explain could literally save you over £3,000 and months of stress, anxiety, and uncertainty. Because on the 8th of January 2026, a critical immigration rule changed. The Home Office changed it. They enforce it. They reject applications because of it. But the government website that most people rely on still hasn't been properly updated. And that mismatch is costing real people real money. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what changed, why the gov.uk website is still confusing thousands of applicants, which English test you actually need for ILR in 2026, and 3 non-negotiable checks you must make before you submit your application if you don't want to throw away £3,028. Welcome back to GoUKGo. My name is Cole Warren, and if you're on the UK settlement pathway, this is one of the most important videos you'll watch this year. A viewer recently contacted me after her ILR application was refused. Not delayed, not queried, refused outright. When I dug into her case, I realized she hadn't done anything reckless or careless. In fact, she did exactly what the government tells everyone to do. And that's what makes this situation so alarming. Before we go any further, hit the like button if you're on the ILR pathway, or if someone close to you is. This information needs to reach people before they make an irreversible and incredibly expensive mistake. Let me explain exactly what happened to her. She's in the UK as a skilled worker dependent. Her partner, the main visa holder, had already successfully received indefinite leave to remain. Everything was fine, so naturally it was her turn to apply. She did what any sensible, responsible applicant would do. She started researching the requirements early. She went straight to gov.uk, the official UK government website, because that's where everyone is told to get immigration information. She searched for the English language requirement for settlement and found a page titled, "Prove Your Knowledge of English for Citizenship and Settling." And this is crucial. That page clearly states that you can prove your knowledge of English with a qualification at B1, B2, C1, or C2 level. She read that. She saw B1 listed first. Like most people would, she assumed that meant B1 was acceptable. So she booked a B1 English test with an approved provider. She paid for the test, she prepared, she passed. After that, she gathered everything else: passport, biometric residence permit, proof of residence, life in the UK test certificate, all the standard documents. Once everything was ready, she paid the ILR application fee of £3,028 and submitted her application. And then came the response from the Home Office. Not an approval, not a request for clarification, not a chance to fix the issue. A rejection. The email stated that she had applied with a B1 English language certificate, but the rules had changed on the 8th of January 2026. As of that date, ILR applicants must meet a B2 English language requirement. Because her application did not meet that requirement, it could not proceed. Application refused. Fee lost. This is where things go from frustrating to infuriating. She didn't ignore the rules, she didn't try to game the system, she didn't rely on rumors or social media. She followed official government guidance, and she was still punished for it. Even now, if you go to gov.uk and search for the English language requirement for settlement, you'll still find pages listing B1 as acceptable. Meanwhile, the Home Office internally enforces a B2 requirement for ILR applications submitted on or after the 8th of January 2026. Think about how dangerous that is. Most people don't read obscure policy documents. They don't dig through technical guidance PDFs. They Google their question, click the gov.uk result, read what's written, and stop there. And why wouldn't they? It's the official government website. But because the Home Office hasn't properly updated its main guidance pages, hundreds of people are unknowingly booking the wrong English test, submitting applications, and losing thousands of pounds. And unless someone warns them, they won't know until it's too late. If you're finding this useful so far, subscribe to GoUKGo and turn on notifications. UK immigration rules change constantly, and the government is notoriously bad at communicating updates clearly. If you're on the settlement pathway, missing just one change like this can cost you years of effort and thousands of pounds. So, where is the actual rule change? This is where the confusion really begins. On the 8th of January 2026, the Home Office published a separate guidance document titled English Language Requirement Levels for Immigration Applications. This is not the page most people land on. It's buried deeper in official guidance. That document explicitly states that for indefinite leave to remain applications submitted on or after the 8th of January 2026, the minimum English language requirement is B2. Not B1, not optional, B2. It's written clearly. It's an official Home Office document, and it directly contradicts what many applicants are still seeing on the main gov.uk pages. This is the core of the problem. The rule changed. Enforcement changed immediately, but the public-facing guidance that most applicants rely on did not change at the same time. And more than a month later, outdated information is still misleading people every single day. Now let's be very clear about what the actual requirements are as of January 2026, so there is zero ambiguity. If you are applying for indefinite leave to remain and you submit your application on or after the 8th of January 2026, you must meet a B2 English language requirement. B2 is the minimum. B1 is no longer acceptable for ILR, regardless of what some pages still say. This means you must take a B2 level secure English language test with a Home Office approved provider. Approved providers include IELTS, Trinity College London, Pearson PTE, and Language Cert. All of them offer B2 level tests specifically approved for UKVI purposes. If your certificate says B1 and you submit your ILR application after the rule change date, your application will be refused. Even if you passed your B1 test shortly before the rule changed, even if you booked it months earlier. What matters is the submission date of your ILR application, not when you took the test. Now, to make matters more complicated, this rule does not apply uniformly to all visa types. If you're renewing a skilled worker visa, the English requirement is still B1 in many cases. However, for first-time skilled worker applications, B2 may apply. For family visas, the requirement varies depending on whether you're applying for entry clearance or permission to stay, and which stage you're at in the settlement process. Some require A1 or A2, others B1 later on. This is exactly why the simplified gov.uk page is so dangerous. It lists multiple levels without clearly stating which one applies to which visa type and from which date. People assume the lowest listed level applies to them, and that assumption can cost them everything. Now let's talk about the financial impact of getting this wrong. The ILR application fee is £3,028. If your application is refused because you used the wrong English certificate, that money is not refunded. There is no partial refund. There is no correction window. There is no, please upload a new certificate. Your application ends there. After that, you still need to book a B2 English test, which typically costs between £150 and £200. Depending on where you live, you may need to wait weeks just to get a test appointment. After the test, you wait again for results. Only then can you reapply for ILR and pay another £3,028. So this single mistake can easily cost over £3,200, not including the emotional toll, the stress, and the uncertainty about your immigration status while you wait. And that's exactly what this woman is now dealing with. She asked me 3 questions that I want to answer publicly so everyone can benefit. First, where can you book a B2 test? The good news is that if you've already taken a B1 test, the process is familiar. The same providers offer B2 tests. If you use Trinity College London, you can book B2 directly through them. Same with IELTS, Pearson, and Language Cert. You simply choose B2 instead of B1 when booking. Second, what should you study? B2 is a higher level than B1, but it's not dramatically harder, especially if you've been living and working in the UK. B1 focuses on everyday communication. B2 requires you to understand more complex discussions, express opinions clearly, and handle professional or abstract topics. Most people who've lived in the UK for several years already function at B2 level in real life. The key is getting familiar with the test format. Every provider offers free preparation materials. Trinity College London even has YouTube videos showing exactly what the test looks like. IELTS offers practice tests. Use them. Preparation is about strategy, not relearning English from scratch. Third, is she the only one this has happened to? Unfortunately, no. Immigration advisors are reporting dozens of refusals for this exact reason. Many applicants had already booked B1 tests or were preparing applications when the rule changed. And because the main gov.uk pages still haven't been fully updated, more people are falling into this trap every single week. So before you apply for ILR, here are 3 critical checks you must make. First, do not rely solely on summary pages. Always search for the actual policy guidance document related to your application. In this case, the English Language Requirement Levels Guidance published on the 8th of January 2026 is the authoritative source. Second, verify that your English test level matches your specific application type and submission date. B2 for ILR submitted after January 8th. Do not assume, always verify. Third, check the validity of your English certificate. Some certificates are valid for 2 years, others indefinitely. Make sure your certificate will still be valid when the Home Office processes your application, not just when you submit it. Let's recap. On the 8th of January 2026, the Home Office increased the English language requirement for ILR from B1 to B2. The main gov.uk guidance pages still incorrectly list B1 as acceptable. A woman applied with B1, followed official guidance, and lost £3,028. Dozens of others have experienced the same thing. The actual requirement for ILR applications submitted after January 8th is B2. And let me be absolutely clear about responsibility here. This is not the applicant's fault. She did her research. She relied on official guidance. This situation exists because the Home Office changed a critical rule without properly updating the information most people rely on. But here's the hard truth. The Home Office will not refund your money because their website was confusing. They will not accept your certificate because you didn't know the rules changed. As an applicant, the responsibility ultimately falls on you to find the most up-to-date requirements, even when the system makes that unnecessarily difficult. That's exactly why GoUKGo exists, to cut through outdated guidance, expose rule changes, and help you avoid mistakes that cost thousands. If this video just saved you from making a £3,000 mistake, hit the like button. Subscribe to GoUKGo for accurate, up-to-date UK immigration guidance. Drop a comment and tell me if you're applying for ILR soon and which English test you're planning to use. And please share this video with anyone on a skilled worker visa, dependent visa, or settlement pathway. In the next video, I'll be breaking down other major ILR changes coming in 2026, including updates to the Life in the UK test, possible timeline extensions, and proposed settlement pathway reforms. Until then, double-check everything, don't trust outdated summaries, and remember this. In UK immigration, the rules you think you know may already have changed. Stay informed, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next one on GoUKGo.